And y'all, this is a good way too to build client retention, because you don't want a client just to come to you for one time and then be done and go on to the, to the next person. It's a good way to build a good relationship with your clients, to build client retention, to have these customers coming back to you for more services. So that way you have more to offer and more to provide them. And also too, when they like something and they love it, they're going to tell all their friends. They're going to tell all their coworkers. So, it's a way too to spread word of mouth, to also grow and increase your business. And we all want to make more money, right? So I hope y'all like the video, and don't forget to click the link, subscribe to the channel, and comment below and tell me more of what y'all want to see, so that way I can keep putting out, good content or whatever, so I can keep the content rolling. So I hope y'all like what y'all see in this video, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hey hair besties. So what I'm going to do in this tutorial is show you how to do a coloring technique called soap cap using developer, bleach, and a little bit of water. So this is 30 volume developer, a little bit of water, and I'm going in with the Kenra bleach. So I don't have a lot left in here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pour what I have. But normally I would do about maybe 2.5 full scoops and just pour it in the water. Or if you have a little bit of shampoo, you can add shampoo to it also instead of water. But I mean, either technique works really well. And rule of thumb, y'all, always do this with gloves. I'm a professional, which still doesn't excuse it, but I forgot to put my gloves on. So I'm just really going in and just feeling for clumps. And later I'm going to get my whisk and I'm just going to kind of whisk the clumps away. So now I'm going to go in with my developer. You can do about 2.5 cups of developer also. And just whisk it just until it's smooth. So here is the wig before. You see how dark the color is? And this right here is why it's called a soap cap, because you're just going to soak it in the solution. I probably let this soak for maybe about an hour to 2 hours. It all depends on how light I want to try to get it to before, going in with the desired color that I want to achieve ultimately. And just go in and just make sure that the hair is evenly saturated all over in the solution, or else the color won't come out right, or it'll be kind of blotchy, and we don't want it to be blotchy. And even take a comb or a brush if you have to. Well, not if you have to. Take a comb and a brush and brush through it, and now you can see how light the color has already gotten. And I love this technique because it pre-softens the hair from having to make it so harsh with the chemicals from the bleach on it. Okay, y'all, so now I'm going in with my matrix brass off to pull out any of those, all those unwanted like red or orangey tones in there. And you can also too use the color wheel to see which colors you need that will cancel out one other color from the other. So say like if you want something to cancel out a little bit of red, then you would probably drop something with a little bit of green in the color to start with. But again, go back to your color wheel, because that will pretty much give you the answers to pulling out any of those unwanted colors. And while you're shampooing all of this out of the hair, be intentional, like pull on the hair too, because when you're pulling it, it's also pulling that color out, that orangey or that redness or those brassy tones. Just kind of pull it out. Also too, y'all, you want to be mindful, not to hold that lace super tight, because you don't want to pull any of that hair out of that lace either, because remember that lace is very fragile with the hair up there, especially if you have small knots. So be mindful while you're shampooing your hair not to ruffle it up too much around that lace area, but just do it in a more of a stroking motion versus just kind of bunching it up in your hands. So after you get all the shampoo thoroughly rinsed out, rinse. I cannot stress that enough, because if you don't rinse it enough, you will leave a buildup of residue of shampoo in the hair. And make sure you condition. Okay, guys, so now that I have the hair pre-light into the color that I want to, now I'm going to go in and section off the part that I want to add a little bit of highlights to. So being the fact that the closure is pretty much already pre-mapped out for me because it's a closure, I'm just going to go in and part around that with a horseshoe parting, because I only want the highlights to kind of sit in the top, kind of like around the face area. So I'm just going to go in and just part off everything around the closure piece. Be sure to clip the hair out of the way for control. So now I'm going in with my first section and I'm going to part this off because this is where I'm going to start my first weaving section for my highlight. Make sure you get a brush that don't create those demarcation lines, ones that's kind of easy to feather the color in. Okay, so I'm going in now with the bleach because I want this piece here to obviously be lighter to create the highlight effect. And I use the same thing that I used to do the soap cap, the 30 volume developer and the bleach. And I'm just going in to, again, this is called a double process. I'm going in again to now bleach the horseshoe section that I parted off to give me that dimension of those highlighted effects. So this time you're just going to mix it in a regular color bowl. You're going to mix 1 scoop of bleach, 1 scoop of 30 volume developer, and you're going to mix it. And then part your hair off and apply it. And I'll part it off again for control because it'll be clumpy and blotchy if I just go in and just put all of the developer on this one section without sectioning it off. And as you see, I'm staying away from putting the bleach all the way to the roots because I want to give it that effect. I want the dark roots still. And you're just going to go in and repeat this same repetitious throughout this whole entire section. And there is really no set time limit that I'm, setting for this because, again, you want to go with the desired lightness that you want. So I know the color that I'm trying to get to, so I'm just going to eyeball it. There is no timer you can set for this. If you just want to be on the safe side, you can set a timer for 10 minutes or so and keep coming back to check it. But because I'm a little more experienced at this, I can just eyeball it to see how light I want it to get. So when you're done, you're just going to cover it with some foil and just put it under a heated dryer and let it process. Okay, so here if you see the blonde pieces on the outside of what I sectioned off, I just had a little bit of extra bleach left over in my bowl and I did not want it to go to waste. So I just went in and just kind of hand painted it over, the hair, whatever was left over, just to give it a more highlighted effect. So now I'm going to go in and resection the hair off again. And now this is where I'm going to do my foiling technique. And again, guys, please use gloves because you don't want the product to irritate your skin or stain it. So I'm using the Adore Rich Amber to create my lowlights because we already did the highlights with the bleach. So now I'm just going in, taking a weaving motion, going across from side to side, just weave, weave, weave. And so I'm going to drop my bottom section. Now, depending on how you want it to fall color-wise around the face, if you want to have your highlights framing your face, then of course you would leave that bottom portion out. But if you want to start with your low lights to frame the section, which means your darker color, then you would put your darker color on the bottom section that you left out. Now I'm going in with my foil because I want my highlight to frame the face first. So I'm just going to leave that bottom section out because obviously it's the highlight, it's the lighter color. So now I'm going in with my low light on this section and I'm just going to paint it on the hair. And again, guys, remember when you're painting it on the hair, kind of do like a feathering motion, more so at the top, because that creates, it gets rid of that harsh line. And you don't want to have those demarcation lines in there. And make sure that the color is evenly saturated on the hair front and back. For me, that's why I like to take, somewhat of a smaller section. So that way the color is evenly distributed all over the hair and not just sitting on the top. Because once you go to rinse that color out and it's not evenly saturated, then it's going to look choppy. It's going to look, it's going to look blotchy. So now you're going to fold your foil up, close that packet up nice and tight, and then you're going to move on to the next section doing the exact same thing. So here I'm going in to my next section doing the exact same thing I did on the previous section. I'm going in to part it out, and you're going to clip the hair out the way, and then you're going to go in with the same exact weaving motion. And here I'm splitting this one section up into two, and that's okay because I'm doing this for control. More than anything, you want to be able to control the hair at all times, y'all. And I'm still going in doing the same thing. I'm doing this one section. I'm going in to weave it the same way I did with the bottom section. And then I'm going to drop the bottom portion of this section out. Then I'm going to get my foil, put it up to the hair, and do the same motion all over again. And you're going to repeat these same steps until you get to the top of the horseshoe. So here I'm just letting the color process with heat for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then I'm going to rinse it out with cool water so that the color does not fade. So now let's move on to the cutting. And if you guys know anything about hair, cut and color always go hand in hand. It's like when you get a cut, when you color the hair, the cut makes everything pop and flow. So you're going to cut it as if you would be cutting it, on a regular client in your chair. You're going to section it off from side to side. First, determine where you're going to part it at, whether it's going to be a side part or a middle part or middle. If it's going to be a middle part, a left part, or a right part, then you're going to section it off from ear to ear. Then you're going to come to the back and just pretty much cut your baseline. Just cut all the excess hair off the ends of it. And you're going to do that in the back and on both sides. Okay, so now to start cutting the layers, you want to go in with vertical sections all over. And make sure when y'all combing the hair, make sure that you comb it all the way out. Make sure that the hair is evenly distributed in the comb. And you're going to hold it at a 90-degree angle all over the head and just cut it at a 90-degree angle. And pretty much 90 degree is holding the hair out at the round of the head all over. As you can see, I just inserted a little clip. And if you miss it, just kind of rewind the video back a little bit. So I'm just taking my shears and I'm going through at the ends with a little bit of point cutting and going through to kind of like slice. It's like a point cutting slash slicing technique. And the reason I like to do that is to kind of break the hair up on the end so that way you don't have any hard lines. And also too, I just like to have texture. Doing it that way, it creates a lot of texture in the hair. It gives the hair more movement, and it also removes some of that bulk and that hard weight line at the end. So that's why I like to do this technique. And as you can see, it's just pretty much the same thing over and over. You're going to start in the back, work your way from side to side in the back, and then you're going to work your way on the side of the head. You can start from either side, the left side or the right side, but starting in the back first and then go from side to side. As always, thank y'all again so much for watching my channel. Click the like button, hit the subscribe button, and comment below if this video was helpful, and share. Thank y'all so much for watching this video to the end. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel and the content that I have on here. And again, comment below and let me know if y'all want to see me putting out more content like this, if y'all want to see me putting out different content, if you want to see me do more wig making videos, more cutting videos, more color videos. Just let me know what it is y'all want to see. Until next time, y'all be safe.